Khan says you had a question.
Okay, most question.
Right now, John 8 and 34. So you're the servant of sin. You're a servant. You do whatever your sin tells you to do. Right? You still it? Okay, so now drop that. Give me 44. Give me 44 when you get a chance.
John chapter 8, verse 44.
Right?
Ye are of your father the devil.
What?
Ye are of your father the devil.
Ye are of your father the devil, and that's the problem. Our leadership serves Satan. Right? Our leadership, we all see the videos of all the times in different cities, right? Of black leaders inside these little meetings, town hall meetings, these private meetings that these politicians and so on and so forth have about things they're going to do with the black community. And your leadership, instead of fighting for you, fight against you. Your leadership is constantly used to go against you, to basically rally the people against you, right? Keep going. Set up policies against you. Keep going.
And the lust of your father ye will do.
Meaning what? You do what's in the best interest of white America. You do what's in the best interest of your father, of what's in his best interest. What helps him out is what you're going to do. Right? That's his lust. What is his lust? Give me an example of the lust of your father you will do. Give me another example. Give me a perfect example. What is the lust of the so-called white man?
Chase money.
Right? That's Khan, that's one of them. What's another one? What's another lust? Is he sexually reserved or sexually conservative?
No, lies. So he's sexually horrible.
Right? He's an animal. He's an
He's an
abomination.
animal.
He commits
God.
every evil. Right? Now, who's the father of all this Christian nonsense? Who do we consider like the father of all this Christian nonsense? You know her? What pastor do we look to, or rather reverend, do we look to as the father of all of this? Who do all black pastors want to be secretly?
They want to be Martin Luther King.
How is he sexually?
Oh man.
Right. He was going to bankrupt the movement. That's not my words. That's one of his man's words.
God.
His man said, yo, Martin bought so many whores, we thought he was going to bankrupt the movement. Martin Luther King, yeah. Martin Luther King liked to spend your money on hoes. Read that again, the lust.
And the lust of your father ye will do.
That's our oppressor and his crony. These are the children that oppress us. We are oppressed by Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, you want to understand where civil rights come from? Civil rights come from 75K people. 75K people and Martin Luther King. The what you would call middle class. Middle class black people didn't want to eat with lower class black people. They want black people who had the money for Macy's and JCPenney and all these nice things wanted to be able to use that money for Macy and JCPenney's and all these white things, right? So they convinced poor black people to help them get it. We're going to march in the street for shit you can't even afford. I can't know. Martin Luther King is in the income bracket to afford Macy's. They just won't let him in the store. Right? Martin Luther King isn't messed up by cost of living in an area. He can live in that area. It's just no one will sell him a home.
God.
And that's the problem. They were worried about their own lust being inside of white society, right? Something I recently learned, I never knew Coke and Pepsi was some racist stuff. You know about that, Allah?
Not particularly, la.
Yeah, it was so strong they wouldn't even sell us Coke. Pepsi, the company, purposely used to market to black people because they did not want black people drinking Coca-Cola. Martin Luther King was the one who said, no, I want to drink a Coca-Cola while I'm inside a pool with white women. The lust of your father you will do. Right? Instead of that, what would have been smart though? If you had some love for black people and they saying, now mind you, both these companies are white. Pepsi's a white company. Always been a white company. What would have been smart for black people to do when they saying, yeah, you can't drink the Coca-Cola, you could drink the Pepsi? Which is really a blessing from the Most High. What do you think the smart thing would have been, Har? Seth, you had your hand raised? And if we ain't gonna drink that, what we gonna drink? Sister said we shouldn't drink either one of them. No, if they can't hear her. Right? So what should we drink? If we ain't gonna drink Pepsi and Coke, what we gonna drink? I'll give it to you. Black soda.
Right.
Why can't we create our own black company? Right. The lust of your father ye will do. You're out to support his ideals and his beliefs. Okay. Keep going.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a murderer from the beginning. He was the one out from the beginning of us being in this country. This man kidnapped us and made us live at the bottom of ships. Did not let us use the bathroom. Let our women menstruate, and men defecate on each other and around each other for months on end. Read that again.
He was a murderer from the beginning.
He was a murderer from the beginning, right? And this is who you said we should sit at a table of brotherhood with. Keep going.
And abode not in the truth.
He didn't live in truth. He doesn't live. Nothing about this situation with our oppressor has ever been truthful. Our oppressor is a false leader. Right? Keep going.
Because there is no truth in him.
Because there's no truth in him. Everything about this place is a lie because the white man is the devil. They get mad at us for saying that on the street, but it's the truth. We've had Jewish judges tell us this. Yeah, that's true. We have lied to you. Said that right to General Hyman and Johnny Yohana's face. Commander Johnny Yohana's face in court. On record. A judge on record admitted white people have lied to black people historically. But we're crazy when we say that on the street. And you know what the topic was? Why do you say the white man is the devil? It's a Greek word that means liar or deceiver. Well, that is true. That is true. We have lied to you. That came out of that conversation happened on court record. Right? But we're crazy when we bring that out on the street. We're a hate group according to SPLC. Gone. Right? Y'all want to hate Kanye for saying what everybody freaking knows. There are white people proud of Kanye for what he said. Y'all gotta understand, the white man is the devil. The Jewish man is the cream of the crop. There's a reason you have a bunch of white people a few years ago saying Jews will not replace us. Y'all think Jewish people are only like this to non-white people? Nah. The Jewish man is a bastard to everyone. The Jewish man basically took our records and said, screw you, we're not white anymore. We're above white. We're white when it matters. That's Jewish people. Right? Keep going.
Because there is no truth in him.
There is no truth in him. Keep going.
When he speaketh a lie, he spaketh of his own.
He speaks of himself. We're going to have freedom. Affirmative action helped white women more than anybody. That's not my words. That's not what's that is statistics. They did the research. Yeah, more white women were helped by affirmative action than black people. How did a section of your race, regardless if it's larger or not, obviously because it's women, how did a section of your race beat out my entire race in a law designed to help me? This lets you know the white man is the devil. Keep going.
For he is a liar and the father of it.
And the father of it. So affirmative action, yeah, we're going to help y'all get jobs. Lie. And that was the biggest lie. It wasn't about getting us jobs. And even that, affirmative action destroyed black economics. You know why? Because before affirmative action, black businesses could always never have to worry about filling their, their business. Black business never had to worry about filling positions because they knew every year new graduates would come in and would be shafted by the system and automatically have to come to you. Right?
Gotcha.
And because of that, here's another thing. Once the white businesses started to accept us, we naturally started to go to them because of monopoly. People like try to blame it, and I'm gonna explain it a bit. It wasn't necessarily black people got shafted or black people shafted their own businesses, which to a point we did. Because black people have to learn brotherhood. Brotherhood is sacrificing for your brother. What's sacrificing for your brother? Halal is $6. Jerk chicken is $10. Make the $4 sacrifice. Right? We didn't want to do that, and that's monopoly. Monopoly is basically the idea of people were afraid to fight Rockefeller because the minute you try to get into the oil business, standard is, let's say, $3.50 a gallon. Rockefeller can really sit there and say, for the next 5 years, I'm going to take an extreme pay cut, $2 a gallon. You won't survive 5 years. You'll have to have a very loyal customer base, which will basically have to mean all blacks and Hispanics say off white oil. We refuse to buy white gasoline. And that's the only way you'll really survive. Right? It's practices like this is why they told Rockefeller you have to divide your stuff, which really actually helped them when you think about it. Because now, instead of taxing my $2 billion business, you're going to largely taxing my $2 billion business. You're going to tax Sonico, Texaco, Mobil, which are all basically Standard Oil. Salakia, one sexist. You're going to tax all those in smaller entities. So you're going to tax them in a smaller bracket. So why, if I made $2 billion, you're going to take $1 billion. I'm going to just take that same $2 billion, but you're only going to see, let me see, 100 million each. So yeah, you're going to only take about 50. I might still be, instead of what you would have took, I might still be left with 550 that you didn't take. $500 million. Right? And this is what they do. He's the father of life. He never creates things to help you. Right? What you going to say, sis? That might have been owned by Standard Oil. That might have. I'm not sure. Keep reading. 45.
Verse 45. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not.
Y'all don't want to listen to me when I tell you what's going to get us free. Understanding that the Jews are black and that we have a certain heritage and culture that we must adhere to, it's freedom. We come from a certain place. We have a certain way of doing things. That will free us. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you that if we change the black community, we'll finally get out of this situation. If we put away Christianity, we'll finally stop the problems that we have in this community. We'll be above all nations, right? You don't want to believe me. Keep going.
Verse 46. Which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me?
Why don't you believe me for what I'm saying? I'm saying the same thing the prophets have been saying since the beginning, right? But y'all don't want to believe that, right? Now read this next part, 47.
Verse 47. He that is of God heareth God's words.
Right.
Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of God.
Ye therefore hear them not. You don't hear this. You don't understand. Your pastor comes up to us arguing with us like that nut in DC the other day, right? Arguing with us, and you don't understand what we're saying because you're not of God. If you were of God, you'd understand this, right? Now drop that. Give me Ezekiel 34 and 2. We're going to skip a few of these probably because it's a lot. What's Khan 2 and Son of Man prophesy. You got it?
Come on.
Read it.
This is Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 2. Then said the Most High unto me, this gate shall be shut.
No, 34 and 2.
Slack.
Khan.
Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 2.
Khan.
Son of man,
Right.
prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Most High Power unto the shepherds. Woe be to the shepherds of Israel,
Right.
that do feed themselves.
Now, what does woe mean? You know, Har?
Destruction, sir.
The woe means death or destruction. So death and destruction to the pastors that feed themselves. Keep going.
Should not the shepherds feed the flock?
Meaning what? They feed themselves. They make sure they're nice and good, but our flocks are not fed, right? That's Creflo Dollar and his jet. The Bible lets you know Creflo Dollar is not a man to be listened to. Creflo Dollar feeds himself. He does not feed the people, right? Keep going.
Verse 3. Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock.
What is that talking about? Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed. What does that mean? Who's the fat? Khan. Remember, this is a black book. Who's the fat? This is a black book. Think 90s.
The fat is the people.
No. Khan. No. The fat isn't the people. You're close. It's a certain grouping of people. I'll give you that much. Who are the fat? What does fat usually imply? You got to know a little bit about ancient cultures. What does it usually mean back then if you were fat? Or matter of fact,
You
huh,
were
Khan,
well fed.
why would you be well fed? Because you're.
Rich.
So who are the fat?
The rich.
So what does it mean ye eat the fat? And ye clothe you with the wool, ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. Khan. Khan, you good, sis. So the fat is the rich, but what does this mean? You're not sure? I'll give it to
That
you.
means like you.
Nah,
Slack, if I'm
Khan,
mistaken.
try.
That means you cater to the rich, but you give the people the cheap stuff.
Not really. Not that you give them the cheap stuff. You're actually right when he says he caters to the rich. You know how many people could call Farrakhan right now to get him to end some rap beef?
Okay.
But Chicago. The leader of the Bloods and Crips in Chicago should have Farrakhan on speed dial and vice versa. Anytime there's at least one shooting and Farrakhan here is gang related, the leader of the Bloods and Crips should both be getting a phone call like, yo, what the fuck y'all doing? What, y'all ain't got no food down there? What, niggas fucking each other's, having sex with each other's women? What's going on so we can stop this problem? What, y'all, what's it called? Nobody's eating over there? I'll do a food drive. I'll make sure y'all get some food down there. I'll send some men to, what's it called? Make sure everybody gets coats and all that. So nobody has to kill anybody. But Farrakhan's real quick to sell your rap beef. Yeah, your Christian pastor is so quick to sit up in a what's it called talking about we talking to all these gang leaders and doing all this. Where? I don't see our crime rates going down. Right? All the leaders of gangs are right in Attica. The Slovakia. Have you, I don't want a bunch of business out there. To your knowledge, did you ever see Christian pastors try to talk to the to the generals? No, not our generals, but the generals of the Bloods. They never what? Christian pastors never went up there to say, yo, we understand y'all control a lot of what's going on for the Bloods inside of New York City. Can we see if we can create some type of peace?
Right.
They've never done that.
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, because they don't care. They'll fix 50 Cent's problems. They'll fix the financiers' problems. Like a guy who works on Wall Street. That's who they care about. They don't care about you and me. They don't care about the average citizen. They don't feed the flock. They don't give us what we need. What we need is the truth. And they don't give that to us. Read.
Verse 3. Flock. Ye eat the fat, and ye clothe you with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock.
And they're doing this for a hire. Why? Because rappers can pay for this. Right? You can't. Keep going.
Verse 4.
And that's all that crap like, oh, for special therapy, special healing, how you paying me? How am I paying you to go into your goddamn closet and talk to yourself? Regardless, like, honestly, let me explain something to you that's so stupid about Christianity. Christianity teaches you the way we see things because they don't probably understand the Bible. God knocked down all the walls. So now we don't need a priest to talk to us, talk for us to God, right? We don't need a priest to talk to us or talk down to us for God, right? We can have God, we can talk to God ourselves. So why the hell am I paying you a dime to talk to God for me? Y'all don't see that's more of a come up? What? God loves him more? Keep going.
Verse 4. The diseased have ye not strengthened.
You didn't strengthen you didn't help the people who had actual ailments. You just said buy a magic healing water. Keep going.
Neither have ye healed that which was sick.
Keep going.
Neither have ye bound up that which was broken.
Keep going.
Neither have ye brought again that which was driven away.
Now, I'm going to deal with the sickness and all that because that's very powerful from what we were reading. They were saying instead of, they treated the war on drugs as a criminal problem instead of a health problem, right? And that's the absolute truth. I say this about crackhead. I would say this all the time. This would have been about 10, 11 years ago now, but I knew a brother 10, 11 years ago. That's only 2011, right? 2012. 30-year-old brother decided to be a crackhead. That brother's probably 40 now, right? For the life of me, I could never understand how someone in 2011 could be a goddamn crackhead. You were born into the crack epidemic, right? You weren't like Rick Ross, his whole family. Because if you ever watch his interviews, he basically said niggas put him on the crack, and his whole family just thought, yo, this is some new shit to get high off. And then years later, oh, crack. Like, nah. Niggas knew what a crackhead was when you was born. Right? Niggas knew the dangers of crack by the time that brother was born. Pretty much. I want to smoke crack, though. Because it is a health issue. There's something mentally wrong with you. Usually because you've been brought up and raised in this society that's oppressed and destroyed you, right? That has made you say, I will further destroy myself. A crackhead is no different than the gangster that he buys the drugs from. Both of y'all are really going out and saying, my life is in such a state of disarray, I will destroy myself. Right? That's no different. These people are absolutely no different than each other. But the problem is, you're saying we should lock them up instead of heal these people. How can I be blamed when my choices is either I'm 7 and I know when I get home from school, my mother will be out doing something strange for change to support her own drug habit, and I will have no food to eat tonight, like every night. Or I could cut school at the age of 7, basically drop out in 2nd grade, and have more money than most of the adults in my house just for taking a backpack 2 blocks down the road for my neighbor. And then 15 years later, when this is my only source of income to feed the child that I've, unfortunately had because I had no proper guidance, I need to be locked up like an animal because of the situations you put me in. You know what happened 10 years before the crack epidemic? The heroin problem from the Vietnam veterans. Y'all let our fathers get high as a kite during Vietnam, then sent them back to wreak havoc in the streets. General Hyman was talking about how sisters had to prostitute themselves to help their husbands with their addictions. And you want to blame me because I have to deal with my parents doing that? I know brothers that are on their 3rd strike, never coming home, all because their mother was a crackhead and it was up to them to feed their baby brother. That is not a joke. That is not an exaggeration. I know those brothers by name. Those are friends of mine, whose lives you destroyed. And then people ask me, what's your beef with white people? When I think of those brothers, that's my beef with fucking white people. No white person destroyed my life. I was blessed. But you know what? My brother wasn't blessed. So you know what? I blame the people that did it to them. The system and the people that support that system. The people that put in place a system that said that he should be locked up for having to feed his baby brother. His life should be destroyed for having to feed his baby brother. we're not going to get into the fact crack was created by the government, because that's not a conspiracy theory anymore. That's a fact. That is a researchable fact. What? Because y'all killed the nigga after he testified before Congress, less than a few months later? Still a fact. Look up the Iran-Contra scandal. In order to fund a war on the other side of the world, y'all weaponize cocaine against my people. And I can't hate white people? Keep reading.
Colonel Khan. Neither have ye brought again that which was driven away.
Right.
Neither have ye sought that which was lost.
You didn't look for what was lost, right? You didn't look for our people that were destroyed. How many pastors go out on a mission to apologize to Christian molestation victims? Meaning a pastor molested you, right? So now we're going to go and we're going to apologize to make sure you understand this is not what we believe as a people or as a group or organization. They don't. The Catholics don't even do that ish. Do the Catholics apologize to all the people they molested or that fathers molest? Right? They get rid of the pastor, but they don't fix him. Right? They don't do anything to that person that got molested. Keep reading. Salaki, keep going.
But with force and cruelty have ye ruled them.
Force and cruelty. It is a cruel thing that Eddie Long did to that brother. Right? It is a cruel thing did to those brothers. Okay, keep going.
Verse 5. And they were scattered because there is no shepherd, and they became meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered.
Right, because of what you did, everybody's allowed to just take advantage of us. Right? Everybody's allowed. Because of Martin Luther King, everybody loves the Aki. I don't even like using that term. Right? Everybody loves these Arabs because of Malcolm X. Right? Wa salam alaikum, whatever bullshit garbage they want to say. Right? We're a prey to them so they can sell us Lucy's. Right? Which goes against Islam. That completely goes against Islam. You seek out the righteousness. What does that mean? You seek out the righteousness of some crap like that, but you're selling something that's known to kill people. The creators literally tell you, hey, by the way, before you even touch this thing, yeah, we will kill you. Here's a message from the head doctor of the country. This will kill you. Here you go. But we're not allowed to do that. Yeah. There's what you do. We become prey for them. Right? Give me verse 8.
Verse 8. As I live, saith the Most High Power, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock.
Right.
But the shepherds fed themselves.
The shepherds fed themselves, right?
And fed not my flock.
And fed not my flock. Meaning the shepherds only cared about what they would get out of what's called 3 strikes law. Right? The shepherds, our Christian pastors, only thought about how he'd get paid from his politicians if he taught us to vote for this or go for that. Right? Keep going. Matter of fact, drop that. Give me Jeremiah 23 and verse 1. Jeremiah. Right? So that's what we basically have. We have a system where our oppressor is basically going around. Yeah, Khan, you're good. You got it? Jeremiah 23 and 1. Got our oppressor going around trying to teach our people what's going to have these pastors teach our people evil. Keep going. Read what you got.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. Keep going.
Verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them.
Right, and this is the problem with these pastors. This is why they're going to die. Right, because they've destroyed the house of the Most High. Keep going.
Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Most High.
Keep going.
Verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries,
Right.
whither I have driven them.
Right, he's going to gather us from everywhere. Keep going. Now what?
And will bring them again to their folds,
Right,
and they shall be fruitful and increase.
right. Keep going.
Verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them,
Right,
and they shall fear no more,
right.
nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith the Most High.
Neither shall they be lacking, saith the Most High. Right, and this is what we need to, as a people, to see. Our leadership is horrible, and God's going to set up new leadership. That new leadership is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Right, and you're going to see that more and more. Keep going.
Verse 5. Behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper.
Yeah, and this is so stupid. I want to ask all these Jewish people who say Moshiach is back. How do y'all know that nigga's related to David? How do y'all know he's related to David? We know Jesus was related to David. How do y'all know he was related to David though? Like the cat, y'all, you ever see those? Moshiach, and I got the little, what's it called? How y'all know that nigga's related to David?
Right.
Like how? Keep going.
And shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
But if I say that to them, I'm anti-Semitic probably. By trying to ask you to prove your lineage, I can't say I'm a part of the lineage at all. But if I probably to even ask and prove your lineage, that's a problem. Here's the truth: they know they're not Jews. They just don't want the world actually out there saying that, because there's a lot of problems with saying they're Jews. There's a lot of problems with it. Because first off, let's address the issue. Here's the thing. Jewish people, I said this earlier, but Jewish people like are just assholes to other white people. Jewish people are assholes to white people, Jewish people. I remember I used to talk to this white Jewish therapist before I was in the truth. I told her, like, yo, the Bible said, the Torah says you can't charge another Jew interest. She's like, yo, I wish I could tell that to my bank. Yeah. Like, if you're Jewish, just let you know your Jewish bank is getting you. He is not allowed to go to your bank and bank owner and let them know you are not allowed under Torah to do that to me. That is strictly in the Torah. You cannot charge another Jew interest. If you want to file it correctly, and we're Jews, yeah, that means you have to redo a lot of housing loans. And just like you're giving them all this, the Nazis all this slack, can we get some slack for the things that were done to us during slavery? Right? Since we're Jews, since we want to open up that can of worms, who's a Jew and who's not? Right? And if you can't prove that lineage, you got a problem, buddy. Because you've been killing us, you've been killing Germans for the past 80 years off a lie. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely.
Right.
And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord of righteousness.
The Lord over righteousness. Okay. Now drop that. Give me verse 13.
Verse 13. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesied in Baal
Right? They prophesy in a different name and not in the name of the Most High God. Keep going.
and caused my people Israel to err.
Meaning we error because we're not following the Most High. Keep going.
Verse 14. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery
Right.
and walk in lies.
Right.
They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doeth return from his wickedness.
Right. They strengthen the hands of evildoers. Right. Meaning what? You can be a homosexual in the Black Christian Church. You're supposed to be accepted, proud, right? We have pride in you, right? When every Christian pastor should be letting the Black community know, we as a nation and as a people will never accept homosexuality. They should be out explaining the history of gay brothels and buck breaking inside of America to understand this is something that was forced on our people, literally. Right? Instead, no, you have the right to be who you want to be. Nobody but us is going out and saying there are medical health risks with being a homosexual. Keep going.
They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
Basically, same thing, homosexuality. Give me verse 17.
Verse 17. They say still unto them that despise me, and the Most High hath said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you.
No evil will come upon. You're not going to get AIDS. You're not going to die. Right? You leave your husband, it'll be better for you. Right? These are the lies that our pastors teach us. Our pastors teach us abortion. Abortion is okay. Right? Our pastors teach us we should celebrate evil holidays that was given to us by our oppressor. Right? Keep going.
Verse 18. For who hath stood in the counsel of the Most High and hath perceived.
Well, stop. Give me 21, Salakia.
Verse 21. I have not sent these prophets,
Right?
yet they ran.
Right? These cats are just running to get to a stage because they want to be so important. Read.
I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 22. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. Verse 23.
Right. Meaning, what does that mean? Verse 22. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, Khan, what you gonna say, sis? No, that's not what it's saying. You're close. What do you think it's saying, Har?
That if the pastors stood in the Most High counsel and they would have made the people follow the Most High's words, then they would have been able to turn the people away from their wickedness.
Right. That's exactly what it is. Give it a hand. Right? Y'all don't follow me, so that's why we have the Black community. Y'all trying to reinvent the wheel. That's why y'all having a billion car crashes every day. That's why y'all cars don't even work or go anywhere. Y'all trying to reinvent the wheel like right? Y'all trying to reinvent the wheel. Okay. Y'all trying to reinvent the wheel like you did it. Keep going. Y'all trying to reinvent the wheel like the wheel wasn't already invented. That's what I mean. Keep going.
Verse 23. Am I a power at hand?
Actually, drop that. Give me 25. Verse 25.
Verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have a dream. I have dreamed.
What?
I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
I have dreamed. I have dreamed. Keep going.
Verse 26. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies?
Yeah.
Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Meaning what? The deceit of their own heart. I want to have sex with white women. So, yeah, I want us to all be equal. Right? This is the Martin Luther King scripture. This is for any false prophet. Right? This is used for any false prophet. I want what's called. They're just telling you what they want. And using that. I had a dream. God said we shouldn't eat pork. That brother wants to eat pork. Right? Let me give you another example. Somebody calls the radio show talking about Deuteronomy 23:6, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's pouring out an Edomite. He loves white people in some way, shape, or form, and wants to use the Bible to what's called say that you should love white people in some way, shape, or form. Right? So he'll point to things like, oh, Deuteronomy 7 never mentions Edomites. Right? Never mentioned. It just mentions this one specific group of Africans. Right? So why do we say we can't marry other nations? Right? Stupid things like that. See, I don't know the truth. God revealed this to me. That's stupidity. It's coincidental. God never gave you a vision. We should kill more homosexuals. That's a coincidence. God never gave you a vision. We should pay more. We should be willing to pay more tithes. But God will give you a vision saying you can have sex with a white woman and eat pork. God will give the Pope a vision that says my view on homosexuality and the church's view is expanding. Let me explain something to you. You will never. Here's how this works. None of us get a say. Jesus don't have a say in the Bible. Y'all realize that, right? Jesus is a prince and a savior. Jesus has no say. When Jesus comes back, he cannot go on a podium and say, yes, I have reviewed homosexuality and it will be allowed. No, the hell he can. He does not have the power to do that. He is freaking Jesus Christ. He does not have the power to do that. I won't even argue with you. I'll just show you the scriptures. The law is the law. An angel tells you. The Bible literally says an angel comes in this motherfucker and tells you something. So once again, so excuse my French. Tells you something that's against what's written down. Do not believe him. That's also the cut for Islam. Right? Yeah, you do not have the right to change anything in this Bible. And your pastor does it all day like he's God. Like he's Jesus. And that's the problem. Keep going. Read what you got.
Verse 26.
Right.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Right.
27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
Right. And that's the problem. We forgot the Most High's name for Baal. Right? Now, drop that. Give me Exodus 20:2 real quick. Concepts while you get that. Try to be a little quick with it. Pull it quick. Right. But we don't get the American dream. We get the American nightmare. American horror story. You got 2 and 6?
Come.
Read it.
2 and 6?
Yeah, 20 and 6.
20 and 6.
Yeah, 20 and 6.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them.
No, Salakia, verse 2. Start at verse 2.
Verse 2. I am the Most High thy power, which
Right.
have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Right. He is our savior, right? Keep going.
Verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
We worship no other God but the Most High, but you're taught to have all these holidays with these fake gods. Right? Keep going. And we'll see what that leads to. Keep going.
Verse 4.
Drop that. Give me verse 5.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Right?
nor serve them.
And serve them. What does it mean to serve them? Do the things that are necessary to appease that God. What makes the God of Christmas happy? When you get the Christmas gifts and you get the goddamn tree and you make the Christmas ham. That's serving Christmas. What's Thanksgiving? When you get that turkey. That's serving Thanksgiving. Regardless what you call it, you are still serving this idol. Context, we kind of got to wrap it up, but I'm going to get to you. Oh, Exodus 20 and verse 6 now. Verse 5. Keep going. Exodus 20 and 5. Con, do what you got.
For I, the Most High thy power, am a jealous God,
Right?
visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
The third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Verse 6.
Meaning what? Understand, this ain't just for Israel. This is not just for Israel. It is a hateful thing to go around in his land having gay parades. That's what this Jewish bastard does. They have gay parades in our holy land. Right? The Jewish man in our house, in our holy land, in our capital, is having gay parades. He's going to get his. But I'm evil when I point that out. Right? Those that hate him are your Christian pastors, are the heathens. They hate him. Right? And will visit their iniquity. Keep going.
Verse
But
6.
who gets mercy? Keep going.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
That what?
And keep my commandments.
That what?
And keep my commandments.
This is the truth. What did we read earlier? If you serve, you are a servant of sin, right? And the truth will set you free. Read 6 from the top.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Whatever penalty you are about to experience, you can be freed from it and have God's love by doing what? Keep
my commandments.
Keeping the commandments. That's plain and simple. Your pastor will never tell you this, though. Your pastor will never tell you that keeping the commandments is how to free yourself. Now, give me John 10 and 11. The gospel. We almost there. We almost done. 10 and 11. We might have to breeze through this, right? You got it?
Khan Khan.
Read it, Baba Shah.
John chapter 10, verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for his sheep.
Right? The good shepherd is Christ. Christ is the good shepherd. He's the one who's going to die for us, right? Keep going.
Verse 12. But he that is in hireling.
Hireling, a hireling. A hireling is just somebody who's hired by an actual shepherd. The sheep belong to the actual shepherd, but a hireling is somebody who's doing the job of a shepherd for that man. Right? It's not actually his. Keep going. You're an employee, basically. Keep going. It's my business. You're my employee. Read on.
But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not,
right,
seeth the wolf coming and leaveth the sheep.
Right, and that's what they do. Our leadership runs from the wolves. The wolves are these politicians, okay, and these other groups that want to destroy us as a people. Our leadership runs from them. Right, keep going.
And leaveth the sheep and fleeth, and the wolf catches them and scattereth the sheep. Verse
13, Con.
13. The hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling, and careth not for the sheep. 14. I am the good shepherd.
Right. Meaning
And-
what? He doesn't care for the sheep because the sheep aren't actually his. This is just a job. Your pastor sees you as a job. This is how I make my money. Your pastor gets rich off you. Right? Keep going.
I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep.
Salakia, drop that. Give me. Salakia, give me 18's the end. Give me 21 and 16, Baba Kasha. Yeah. We're about to end off in a little bit.
John 21, verse 16. He saith to them again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, loveth thou me?
Do you love me? What's called Peter? This is Peter he's talking to. This is after Peter denied him 3 times, right? And this is how you know the job of a pastor and what the job of a leader over Israel is supposed to be, right? Because who is Peter? What does that name even mean? Is that man's name? Is his name Peter or is it Simon? What does it say there?
Simon.
Simon, right? So what is Peter? Peter's a nickname that he got for his job. What does Peter mean, you know?
The rock.
The rock that I shall build my church on. That's what Christ explained, right? This is the head of the church. Let's see what it means to truly love Yahushua, what it truly means to love Christ and be a leader over his flock. Read.
He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep.
What?
Feed my sheep.
What?
Feed my sheep.
That's what a leader, somebody who loves Christ, does. They what?
Feed my sheep.
They feed his sheep. What did Christ say? When I was hungry, you fed me. When I was naked, you clothed me. I never did that, but as much as you did it for one of these little ones, you have done it for me. And what's he going to say to the next group? When I was hungry, you sat there and let me starve. When I was naked, you sat there and let me freeze. I never did that to you, but you did it to these little ones, which is like you doing it to me. If you love me, feed my sheep. That's simple to understand, right? This is why your pastor has to die. Because he's doing a horrible job at his job. I was reading something I had ready for Passover. I ain't going to bring it out now. They were basically saying, you got simpletons inside these churches. The black church made $420 billion from 1980 up until about 2015, right? Made all that money, right? And then black parishioners tried to say, oh, you're just singling them out. What about all the white people and heathens that do it? They didn't actually say heathens, right? Basically, they showed them by explaining, and this is how you know there's something spiritual and biblical about us. The Black Christian Church, everybody knows the Black Christian Church is not a church. The Black Christian Church is half a government, and everybody knows it. The Black Christian Church is a place for blacks as a whole to go to get certain services. Right? You need food. The white people aren't white people go to soup kitchens. White people go to their local basically soup kitchen, places for that the government set up. We know and understand we got the church. The church is the place we're supposed to go to for these things. Y'all stealing money from black people though. So it's not, there's a difference here. It's not what's called, oh, we're picking on the black people. Your institution is built and known to be created as a safe haven for black people when they feel they can't trust the government. And everybody knows this. And y'all robbing these people. Read that from the top.
Verse 16. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee.
You know I love you, sir. Keep going.
He said unto him, Feed my sheep.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to feed Yahweh sheep. Okay. And now, what's the last thing you have to do? Give me Revelations 22. I want to say started 14. Started 14. Read what you got.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments,
Right.
that they may have right to the tree of life,
That they may have right to the tree of life.
and may enter through the gates into the city.
Right. They may have right to the tree of life. So what do you have to do to get the tree of life? What do you do to be blessed?
Do his commandments.
You have to do the commandments, right? That's clear as day, right? Is that in the Old Testament? No, that's in the Old Testament. Revelations?
Oh no, Slack.
That's the New Testament, right? So what do Christians get? You don't have to keep the law. You don't have to what? Oh, you just have to keep the bare commandments. Now I'm not in any way a psycho, right? I in no way want women to be raped, but I just say this there's a few laws I could bring up, but here's a harsh one: rape. Show me rape inside the New Testament. You can't. It doesn't exist. I'll show you rape inside the New Testament. What was written aforetime was written for our learning. What does that mean? The Bible says you should be killed if you're a rapist. That teaches me that rape is wrong in the eyes of God. But the New Testament's done away with, so there's nothing teaching me rape is wrong in the eyes of God. You know what else? There's no such thing as workers' comp or a day off. I can work my employees 7 days a week if I want to. Who's going to stop me? The government? Right? These things don't exist. These are lies that our pastors teach us that destroy our society. Right? You know, the Black Panthers started because of a lack of a street light, according to the movie they made. Brothers came together because they were tired of little kids being killed because there was no street light. That's your pastor's job. Your pastor is supposed to make sure you have decent roads. That's in the Bible. Right? But they don't want to teach you this. You will be blessed when you have. How are you blessed? Less kids will die. It's that simple. Keep going. You're about to end this off.
And may enter through the gates into the city. Verse 15. For without are dogs.
Dogs are heathens. Dogs will not enter into the kingdom. Keep going.
And sorcerers.
And sorcerers, right?
And whoremongers.
And whoremongers, right?
And murderers.
And murderers, right?
And idolaters.
And idolaters, right?
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. What does that mean? Whosoever, that whole thing. Whoremongers. If you're a sinner, you won't make the kingdom. That's clear as day, right? Whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. You love a lie and you make a lie, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. That's in the Bible. I didn't write this. What's it called? Christianity is a lie and it's destroying our people. Right? It is destroying our people. And as I'm doing my research and understanding these Jewish people, like y'all really just Christians without the Jesus. The Jewish man, like I always thought Jewish people didn't believe in the concept of, they do. Jewish people believe in the concept of hell, just like the white man, just like the Christian, right? Except I think basically when evil people who don't keep the law, they go to hell, but everybody else just gets to go to be joined back with the Most High from what they believe. Y'all just Christians. Y'all believing a lie, right? Maketh and believeth a lie. Loveth and maketh a lie. right? Our people love the lie that the pastor is spewing out because it helps them. It helps them to strengthen their own lies. But with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer Hayala.
Clap it up for the class.
No sign trash. Cut. Just cut it.